Good afternoon once again, ladies and gents. We are playing in the Vodacom URC final this weekend against the DHL Stormers in Cape Town. In the build-up to that, we've got our winger, Madosh Tambwe, who will just briefly chat to us about our plans and just the build-up to that final. We'll take questions, we'll take hands. Ashfaq, I see your hand is up. You can ask the first question.
Thanks, Shumani. Guy, Madosh, hope you're well.
Good on you, man. How are you doing?
All right, man. Just in terms of this season, Madosh, the way you've been playing, it just seems like that confidence is there. You know, you just have a go when you get the ball, fielding the high balls. There's no issues there. What do you think has brought that about this season at the Bulls?
Thank you for the question. For me, obviously, it being, a move from the Sharks to the Bulls, obviously coming here, there was, Coach Jake already had guys like Stravino and Kirtley as his starting wing. So I needed to work on something that would have given me a point of difference. So I took a lot of, took my time into, putting effort into my craft in terms of that part of, of my position qualities to obviously have a point of difference when the team gets selected.
Ken?
Thanks, Tumani. How's it, Madosh?
Good on you, Ken.
Yeah, well on yourself, man. What would you say your specific qualities are that you've brought to the Bulls this year?
Like I just help with that extra, attack, speed, retrieving high balls, gives us a way to retrieve a position back. I guess how rugby has shaped and how it's moving, or the direction it's moving at, is, as a winger, you need to be able to field those high balls in order to regain position for your team and just, a way of relieving and applying pressure to your opponents.
Back to Ashfaq.
Madosh, Jack White has often said that you could have scored another 10 tries or so. It's always been sort of hard luck. The team all calls you back, or there's a forward pass or knock on whatever. Just him as a coach, how has he encouraged you to have a go with ball in hand?
Well, if all the 6 or 8 tries were awarded, I would have probably been sitting on 14 or 15 tries, if I'm not mistaken, but I'll take the 8 that I'm currently sitting on. Now, working with Coach Jake has been tremendous. He's honestly brought out the best out of me. He challenges me in various ways, not just as a rugby player, but also as a team guy off the field. So working with him has been, a great aspect of my career to date. And yeah, hopefully we can finish that relationship on a high on Saturday.
Brendan?
How's it, Madosh? Just on your last 2 games against the Stormers, both have been pretty tight affairs. The one at Loftus, they came back there at the end and snatched it from you. In both ones, you guys didn't start great, if I remember right. How much do you need to do more in the final? Or what's the feeling going into the final after those 2 games? You know them so well. You guys have played them so many times. So what's sort of the mindset going in, and what do you need to do?
Look, we're at the stage in time where there's not much you can do, honestly. There's 1 game left in the URC. So we just need to try to replicate the performance we had against Leinster last week. Stormers being the only South African team we haven't gotten a W against. So obviously we're going with the mindset of we want to win. Like Coach Jake said, you enter competitions to win, and doesn't matter how we start or whatever happens, we just need to make sure by the time that the ref blows the final whistle at the 80th minute that we a couple of points or a point ahead of them.
Back to Ken.
Thanks. Madosh, the Leinster game, I guess, was just one of those games where you just didn't really have much opportunity to have the same impact you had in the rest of the competition. Going down to Cape Town now, there's been a lot spoken about their back three, who've also done exceptionally well. You've mentioned it being your last game for the Bulls. Just how motivated are you to go down there and perhaps just show that you guys are on a level and well, maybe even better than the Stormers back three?
Look, to be honest, it's for me, it brings pleasure to know that teams don't want to give me space. So I take that, like I put a smile on my face when I see that in a game. It means that I'm doing something right. With regards to that, I'm not, taking or thinking of it being my last game or whatever. I'm taking it as there's a final, and I need to. My main priority is to win, and then only after that I'll start worrying about what happens after then. But I would love to end my spell at the Bulls with the trophy.
Simon?
Sorry, can I just follow up quickly? Just on the Stormers back three, Madosh, they've obviously had really good seasons as well.
Yeah, no, I'll credit to them. Their back three has played well. Zas is a top try scorer, Sinatla right behind him, and Boogie is a great player. So obviously, it all comes down to Saturday, the planning, the bounce of the ball. So we're just going to approach it like we've been approaching every other game. Any lethal back three lacks space, and if we can close the space down, I think we'll be in good hands.
Simon? Simon, we can't hear you, but we can see that you have unmuted yourself, but we're not hearing anything coming through. Okay, we can't hear anything, Simon. Maybe if you can just try fix your mic that side. In the meantime, we'll move on to Ashfaq and then come back to you. Ashfaq?
Thanks, Shumani. Madosh, you spoke so glowingly about your time at the Bulls and with Jake now. So then why are you leaving, first of all? And then secondly, I also Springbok coach earlier today why you are not in the box squad. And he said you're actually not eligible because you're not a citizen. Could you give us some info on that, or whether you want to become one and want to be eligible for the box or not?
To that question, I'll follow the media and hear what the media said, because to my knowledge, I traveled the Bulls and I don't see any other badge on my passport besides the coat of arms. So anyways, look, my decision has got, I've got a great relationship with Coach Jake, first of all. And when I spoke to him with regards to my move to the top 14, he understood it. And as much as he's been adamant of me leaving, I think he's understood where I come from and the reason behind it. And, just like every good thing comes to an end, unfortunately. But I want to give back to him because he's been a tremendous guy. He uplifted my career from when I got here. And I think the one thing I can do in terms of repaying him is playing my socks off and hopefully playing a role into securing that trophy and bring it back to Loftus.
So are you joining Bordeaux as it has been reported?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, sorry, just to ask about the boxing again, Jacques Ninaber said that you are not a SA citizen. So I don't know if it's a passport issue or that you must have an ID. And he mentioned the Chichuka brothers saying they are in the process of becoming citizens as well. And once they're done, they could be selected. But with you, have you made any inroads on that?
I don't know. All I know, last week I was in Ireland with the team. So I don't know. I don't know what more to say to that.
Simon, I'm not sure if your mic is working again.
I hope you can hear me now.
There we go. Perfect.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Thank you for the opportunity. Technology is not my friend. Madosh, just a question regarding you've made mention of taking the game as any other game. Obviously, the Bulls started off with a very difficult approach to the URC. It wasn't good, and the rest is history. You're here, you're in the final, etc. How much of the pressure that you've established through the process is the team digesting at the moment, and how do you digest that pressure? And then personally, how do you work it out for yourself? Big opportunity. We need not expand as far as that is concerned.
Simon, thanks for the question. Look, when we started this competition, I don't think anybody gave us a chance, especially when we lost our first game against Leinster, and then we went on to losing a couple of more games. I think, but at the start of the year, I think we were still second last. And at that stage or that point in time, if you had told us that we were going to make it in the final, we were going to laugh at you. But as time went on, you know, the bond and the relationships got stronger within the squad, and the belief started growing, obviously. And, you know, we found ourselves in a position where every game was basically like a playoff game, to where we needed to win in order for us to, you know, first of all, secure a European spot, and then secondly, to secure a playoff spot. So ever since that particular, I think the last 3 games before the playoff started, we already embraced the challenge of every game is basically like a playoff spot. And I think the guys just, you know, took it in very, very well. And luckily we've got great coaches in our camp. We've got a World Cup winning coach. We've got a defense coach that has been to 3 Super Rugby finals, if I'm not mistaken. So we've got great personnel that we're fortunate to work with. And with myself, luckily I've been blessed to be in a position to play for a franchise like the Lions. You know, we went to a couple of finals, and you more or less know how to deal with situations like this. So hopefully that helps a bit with the nerves cup for this weekend.
Just a follow up there, sorry, Tumani. You've mentioned the Lions. You as a team and you as a person, you've started to score more tries, especially in this competition. What would you attribute that to? Is it because of the reasons that you've given, or is it that it is a question of you actually fit the team like a hand in a glove?
I would say it's experience. Like, you know, the manner in how you approach the game changes when you, obviously, the more you play, the more you start seeing things differently. I guess when I started, I just thought I'd run through everybody. And then you realize at a certain stage that no, it doesn't work like that. There's systems in place. There's great defensive system in place. And for you to score, you need to find the team needs to find a way to manipulate that defensive system. Luckily, you know, I'm fortunate to just be that guy that puts the ball down at the whitewash. So, yeah.
Stian, I see your hand is still up. I'm not sure if it's an old hand.
No, there's a new question, sir, Madosh, and sorry, I just need to clarify something, and don't take this the wrong way. Just on Ashraf's question, am I right in understanding? I just want to make sure I don't understand you wrong, that you do have a South African passport then?
Yes.
Okay. No, thank you. That's the one part. The other thing is, the other question I wanted to ask you was, how do you guys make sure that you didn't play your final in Dublin? There was so much made of that game and going up to Leinster and you know and the fact that you guys are such underdogs. How do you this week make sure that wasn't the final that you guys played?
I mean, if you look at how the game ended, we didn't jump and celebrate the way we did against the Sharks. Before the game, we told ourselves, listen, this is not the final. And irrespective of what the result is, there's one more game still to be played. So, and luckily, like Marcel said, has been saying, we've been treating every game like a playoff, and how you go about that is you play. And if you have to play another week, then you have to strap up and play another week. So we know as a team, we're in a good headspace, and we know that we didn't play our final last week. And we're actually going to play our final this weekend, and hopefully we can do the city of Tshwane proud and bring that URC trophy back home.
Okay, I don't
just
see
a follow on that. Sorry.
Yeah,
sorry. Just quickly, you mentioned that the Stormers are the one team you guys haven't beaten this year, and I know that loss at Loftus hurt, especially because you guys were in control of the game, and you came so close in Newlands. How much of the motivating factor is that?
Look, I think we've actually put that behind us, and I think now our main motivation is actually just to lift the trophy, the same way we did when we went to Leinster. We never mentioned that we owe them whatever. We just went there and say, listen, it's just another team that's on our way to the final. So if we win, you know, we've received, or we've managed to get our objective done. And just like Saturday, you know, the objective is to win, and there's 23 guys that's, you know, on the way of that. So we just need to see, you know, the reward that awaits us, and hopefully that is enough motivation for the game on Saturday.
Do we have any takers for the final 2 questions? Going once, going twice. 1. Thank you.
So, Chumani, sorry, maybe just the last one, Madosh. Total left field question. What would people be surprised to know about you? Because we always talk about your tries, but surely there's more to Madosh away from the field. Give us something, some color, man. What would people be surprised to know about you away from the field?
I genuinely love to cook. I take pride in what goes in my mouth. I'm a very down-to-earth person, I would say. I enjoy a different variety of music. I'm not as serious as I look on the field. Everybody that knows me knows this. I like playing the clown or playing the fool. And yeah, I just like enjoying my time. And like my dad always tells me, once you lose the kid in you, you might as well just, you know, call it quits.
And then to wrap it up for us, Ashfaq.
Do you have a nickname, Madosh, and why is it so?
So the boys call me Doshi. So some call me Dosha. Some call me Malik. There's guys call me different names here. So I don't necessarily have one particular nickname.
Malik is interesting, Madosh.
Yeah, there's a story behind that. So every Ramadan, you know, I fast, you know, so I do that. I know I'm not Muslim though, but I just fast out of, you know, solidarity of family and friends that are Muslim. So when that time of the year comes and I'm fasting, everybody goes, they call me Malik instead of Madosh.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah, brother. Mashallah, brother.
Big thanks to Malik, and big thanks to all of you, ladies and gents, for joining us. We'll see each other again tomorrow at 11:15. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Kamani. Thanks, Madosh.
Good luck,
guys.
guys. Good luck. Good luck.